Hey guys, it's me, your girl, your Casey. How you doing? So I was just thinking today, even before I went book shopping, that I never really do hauls. I've done like one, and I think it was like the third video of my channel ever, but I never really buy enough at one time to justify a book haul. But I figured I should justify it by my own justifications because I really want to do one and they're fun. I went to booKCase today and I bought 3 books. It's been a while since I bought a book, so I'm proud. The first book I bought today, I've been waiting for probably 2 years for, is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by one of my favorite authors, V.E. Schwab. I remember just like browsing Goodreads one day and I saw this book and it didn't even have the cover yet. It was that early. And it was like, woo, the summary is like The Deal with the Devil. And I'm like, oh my gosh, someone passed me a stack of toast because this is my jam. And now it's finally out and it's in my hands and I'm so excited. It was expensive though. Look at that. That heart's done dangling from puppet strings. But anyways, I know primarily what this book is about, but let's see what the summary says. France, 1714, 1776. New York City. In a moment of desperation, a young woman named Adeline meets a dangerous stranger and makes a terrible mistake. As she realizes the limitations of her Faustian bargain, being able to live forever without being able to be remembered by anyone she sees, Addie chooses to flee her small village as everything she once held dear is torn away. Drama! But there are still dreams to be had and a life to live. You better live your immortal life. I mean, girl, like, why'd you make that bargain if you're not going to live your life? And she is determined to find excitement and satisfaction in the wide, beckoning world, even as she will be doomed to be alone forever. Or not quite alone, as every year on her birthday, the alluring Luke comes to visit, checking to see if she is ready to give up her soul. Their darkly thrilling game stretches through the ages, seeing Addie witness history and fight to regain herself as she crosses oceans and tries on various lives. It will be 300 years before she stumbles into a hidden bookstore and discovers someone who can remember her name, and suddenly everything changes. A life no one will remember. A story you will never forget. So, V.E. Schwab is one of my favorite authors. I only didn't like one of her books, The Near Witch, which was her first book, and it was still good enough. So, I love this lady. She does fantastic villains, and I'm excited to get into this. Like, I like the drama of these Faustian deals. Ooh, you get your wish granted. Oh, side effect, you feel like you're walking on knives for the rest of your life. What are you willing to give away to get what you want? Also, I want to know more about this Luke fella. See the devil. He's the devil. But that is book 1. Oh, I nearly knocked my little bird over. The next one I have is called The Ghost Tree. It was in the Halloween section, but the main reason I picked this book up is because it's by Christina Henry, and she is the author of my favorite book so far this year, Lost Boy, a very dark retelling of Peter Pan. So when I was checking out at booKCase, the guy behind the counter would not stop talking, and I was introverted that moment, and I'm like, just please check me out. And when he got to this book, like, he didn't stop talking, but he also read the back of every book I bought, so I'm just sitting there like, ah. And when he got to this book, he was like, he was judging me the whole time. I feel it. I felt uncomfortable. But let's see what had my cashier dude freaked out. When the bodies of 2 girls are found torn apart in the town of Smith's Hollow, Lauren is surprised, but she also expects that the police won't catch the killer. After all, her father's body was discovered the year before with his heart missing. And since then, everyone has moved on. Even her best friend Miranda has become more interested in boys than in spending time at the old ghost tree, the way they used to when they were kids. I'm getting like imaginary friend vibes. Ghost tree, treehouse, demons. So when Laura has a vision of a monster dragging the remains of the girls through the woods, she knows she needs to do something to help, unlike the rest of Smith's Hollow. But as she draws closer to the answers, she realizes that the foundation of her seemingly normal town might be rotten, and that if nobody else stands for the missing, she will. So it's gonna be spooky, but also it's gonna be dark. There's bodies everywhere, I can tell. But I'm hoping it's as dark as that Peter Pan book, because that was perfect. Next up, we have a book both as dark and not as dark, because it has a pretty cover. It is The Astonishing Color of After. Lei Chen Sanders is absolutely certain about one thing. When her mother died by suicide, she turned into a bird, like you do. Lei travels to Taiwan to meet her grandparents for the first time. There, she is determined to find her mother, the bird, not her mother, the ferret, you idiot. In her search, she winds up chasing after Ghost, uncovering family secrets, and forging a new relationship with her grandparents. And as she grieves, she must try to reconcile the fact that on the same day she kissed her best friend and crush, her mother was taking her own life. Alternating between reality and magic, past and present, hope and despair, The Astonishing Color of After is a stunning and heartbreaking novel about finding oneself through family history, bravery, and love. So first off, the cover. What's the cover? The cover is beautiful. 10 out of 10. I like birds. Very majestic bird. 10 out of 10. Now, so I've heard that this is a story about, dealing with grief, as the summary said. And also, I really hope the mom actually did turn into a bird. That sounds pretty dope. Kind of like Moana, with a manta ray. My mom turned into a heron. And I'm definitely going to get to these books next month. I'm going to read them during NaNoWriMo because I'm just so excited for them. Will I even be able to wait? I'm just gonna have to read faster, aren't I? Thank you guys so much for just popping in for this little tiny haul. I'll do more because I love hauls and they're fun. Until next time, stay reading, my friends.